Josh is a YouTuber who loves pushing boundaries. He's always out hiking, camping, and exploring places most people wouldn't dare to go. On this trip, he set his sights on something different, a cave buried deep in the jungles of Sri Lanka. Locals warned him not to go near it. They said it had a dark history, that it was once used by cannibals. Some refused to even speak about it, but Josh didn't back down. He grabbed his gear and went straight into the jungle, alone. The deeper Josh went, the more surreal things became. The trail, once rough and nearly invisible, suddenly turned into a winding mountain road, almost too perfect, like it wasn't meant to be found. Despite the intense heat and the weight of his gear, he kept pushing forward, drenched in sweat, but mesmerized by the raw beauty around him. Sri Lanka's jungle was wild, but stunning. And just when it felt like the exhaustion might slow him down, fate stepped in. The distant sputter of an engine echoed through the trees. A tuk-tuk out of nowhere. You'd think a local was being generous by helping him out, right? Well, keep watching to see otherwise. The driver didn't speak much English, but he understood enough to help. No questions asked, just a nod. And suddenly Josh was off again, climbing higher into the mountains, heading straight toward the cave. The road may have been beautiful, but the path ahead was anything but safe. He was just a short hike away from the cave now. Only a few stone steps stood between him and the entrance. But then, something changed. Two men emerged from the trees, silent, expressionless. They didn't speak. They didn't smile. They just started following him, step for step. When Josh paused, so did they. At first, he brushed it off as a coincidence. But then, one of them stepped closer and asked him to follow them. Josh declined, calmly, respectfully. But they didn't back off. That's when the uneasy feeling kicked in. Something wasn't right. Instinctively, Josh pulled out his camera and hit record. What happened next left him even more unsettled.
I've been joined by some friends. They're showing me around. Very cool. I thought it was a bit strange that as soon as I began filming, they moved out of the shot. But I tried to ignore them and stayed focused on filming the cave I'd worked so hard to reach. Yet every time I lowered the camera, they would tell me to follow them as they wanted to show me something. At this point, I did feel quite uncomfortable, but I decided to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think these guys want to show me something. All right. We going this way? But when I finally saw what they wanted to show me, everything changed. Wow. It was an abandoned house, and they wanted me to go in first. Okay, I'll follow you after you. And at this point, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed one of the men was moving behind me. And at that moment, my gut instinct kicked in loud and clear. Get out now. I'm just gonna get one more shot, okay? One more shot. Oh, sorry, I'm just shooting, filming, and doing more. And then I'll come, okay? I stayed calm, acted like I wasn't suspicious, and slowly walked back towards the entrance. But it seemed like they didn't want me to leave. I'll come soon. I just want to shoot this. But you go, I'll stay. And then I come later. I'm just filming everything. Okay? Okay. So I pretended to take the shot, and when I saw they were distracted, I made my move. At first, I walked at a normal pace, as off camera I had told them I'd forgotten something on the trail. But then, I heard footsteps coming after me, and that's when I ran.
Whatever those men wanted, Josh didn't wait to find out. The moment he saw an opening, he took it, quietly distancing himself before things could escalate. He didn't run, he didn't panic, but every step away from that abandoned building felt like escaping a trap that had already started to close. And then he broke into a sprint, fueled by instinct and adrenaline. It was obvious. They weren't just casually walking the same path. They had a plan, and it didn't feel right. Maybe they thought he'd follow out of politeness or curiosity. Maybe they thought he was alone, vulnerable, and easy to manipulate. Out here, in the middle of nowhere, you learn fast. Hesitation can be dangerous, and trusting the wrong person can cost you everything. Josh got lucky, but this was a reminder. Cameras might catch the story, but instincts are what keep you alive. In one of her videos, a YouTuber known as The Abandoned Camper set out to stealth camp in a cemetery from the 1800s. Pretty normal, right? At first, everything seemed calm. She found a quiet clearing tucked behind some thick trees, unpacked her gear, and began settling in. Just another remote spot on her growing list of off-grid camps. But as the light faded and the forest grew quiet, things took a strange turn. While filming old, crumbling gravestones, she suddenly heard something. It was the sound of children screaming, slicing through the cemetery from somewhere nearby, and there was no one else around.
So if you can't tell, it's pretty dark here right now, but there are kids here, like young kids in the cemetery. And I'm wondering how active this place actually is. Do people come here at night and kind of party in the forest or something? Okay, so that dog kind of ruined it. Not ruined it, I shouldn't say that. The dog barking, I didn't want to disturb anybody, especially since I'm not supposed to be here. So I think I'll finish my exploring tomorrow morning. And because there seems to be still a lot of stuff here. See? Hear them? I think they know I'm here. That's not good.
By now, she was almost certain it was a group of kids playing some kind of prank. Maybe they'd spotted her setting up camp and decided to mess with her. Still, something about it didn't sit right. Just in case it wasn't a joke, she kept her camera rolling, documenting every step as she carefully made her way back. She checked behind her more than once, making sure no one was following.
I'm gonna keep this recording, just in case. But I'm also gonna stop and find out what they're doing, if they're actually watching me or not. Oh, I can see them. I just don't want them to see where I'm going. I think they're gone.
Back at her hidden campsite, she tried to shake off the unease. She lit a small fire, just enough to cook some food and keep the darkness at bay. But that one spark may have been the mistake that gave her away. Not long after the flames began to flicker, she heard it. Voices, footsteps crunching through the underbrush, moving through the forest, straight toward her. What started as a quiet night in an abandoned graveyard was quickly turning into something else entirely.
I just had to put out the fire because there are people walking around back here. They don't have headlamps on, but like I said in my last video, I do not like being around people in the middle of a forest, especially when it's dark out. So I might pack up and get out of here.
What those voices belonged to, or what they wanted, she never found out. And maybe that's for the best. Trusting her instincts, she didn't wait around to ask questions. Instead, she quietly packed up her gear, doused the fire, and slipped out of the cemetery under the cover of darkness. Every step away from that place felt like the right move. She never looked back. And honestly, would you? Chelsea has a hobby that most people wouldn't even consider: exploring abandoned places with dark histories and ghost stories that refuse to fade. Her channel is filled with eerie explorations, and sometimes she even camps overnight just to see what unfolds after dark. In this video, she heads deep into the woods to investigate an old railway tunnel built in 1928, a place surrounded by decades of local legends. People say ghostly soldiers still walk the tracks, and today, Chelsea was ready to see if the stories held any truth. This time, she wasn't going in alone. Her friend Jamie joined her for the trip, ready to face whatever they might find inside the tunnel.
Yeah.
Look at this, just without a light on, it looks so.
Yeah, it's like we're in a cave. Like you can smell it, smells mildewy.
So Chelsea, what were you saying that I guess they opened this up as some built for cars as well?
Yeah, so...
It's a one-way, it's only one lane in here.
Yeah, so if two cars come in here and they get stuck, there should be a pocket here for the vehicle to pull into in the side of the wall. So I wanted to see if we could find that.
Definitely need to look in for a pocket. I was told that these lights actually flicker from time to time.
Do they?
Oh, I mean, that's what they say. They're not supposed to.
At first, the tunnel was quiet, cold, damp, and echoing with every step. Chelsea and Jamie scanned the walls with their flashlights, taking in the decaying structure and the eerie stillness that surrounded them. But then, something unexpected happened.
Definitely has to be a factor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those lights flickering. Shh! Chelsea, what is that? What is that? What is that? What the frick is that? What the hell was that? What was that?
What is that?
Why does it sound like there's a Dude, Chelsea?
It sounds like a train. James, seriously?
It can't be. It's gotta be it's in the other river. Oh my god. Oh, what the hell? What's that? As the train's going by, we heard that noise, and it came from this way. And then right after that, as the train's going, this is all happening right before a train goes by. There has to be something with that, guys.
There has to be.
Like, we literally hear, I don't know what that was. God, that's loud.
That's the train going by? Holy crap, it's shaking the whole thing. What if, okay, now this is just a thought. What if that guy, like we heard running, it just went off again?
Running?
When we heard
was
that,
the running noise?
yeah, when we heard the running, what if the guy was running from a train? And that's how he died.
That sounded like a almost sounded like an old train. Holy crap, though.
As they moved farther into the tunnel, the atmosphere began to shift, and then came the footsteps. They started suddenly, fast, heavy, unmistakably human. The sound of someone running echoed through the tunnel, growing louder, closer. Chelsea and Jamie stopped in their tracks, flashlights darting around in search of the source. But there was no one there, nothing but the sound of their own voices and the last fading echoes of the footsteps. And in that moment, they both had the same chilling thought. They weren't alone, and whatever was in that tunnel with them might not have been alive.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna buy him some sage when we get out of here.
Old lights or something?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Whoa! What the hell was that? What the hell? Did you hear that?
Yes?
What was it?
Is that gate closed?
What gate?
The gate, the freaking gate's closed, James. Look! Yes!
No way. Wait a minute.
What the?
Wait a freaking minute.
That is weird.
Climb up there anyways. Like.
By now, Chelsea and Jamie were convinced someone was messing with them. Maybe a local trying to scare them off, or another explorer pulling a prank. But what happened next was different.
Dude, that's.
What is that light?
Wait,
What is that?
Dude, what is that?
Is that a car? Is that a train?
No. What in the world? Wait, are those just other people coming in, or is that something else?
I don't know.
Okay, guys, there's a light on the other end of the tunnel. Maybe that's just, is it moving? Let me stop.
Why does it look so much like a train?
Why does it look like a yeah, it does. That doesn't look like a regular light. It's getting so bright. What the frick is
Something's
it?
coming down.
Maybe somebody's driving. Wait, maybe.
James,
What the hell is that? Let's find a place to dip. We gotta find one of those spots.
that's what I'm saying.
What is that? Dude, what the frick is that?
Dude, run,
Whoa,
run,
whoa.
run.
What is that?
For a moment, they considered something else, something even stranger. Could it have been a train? Not a real one, of course. The rails had long been torn up, but this tunnel had a reputation. And more than one person had claimed to hear the roar of a phantom train or even see one appear in the distance before vanishing into thin air. Chelsea and Jamie weren't sure what they saw, just a flash of light far down the tunnel. But realistically, it could have just been a person, maybe someone with a flashlight or even a car coming in from the other side. Maybe the whole thing was just an elaborate prank. Maybe it was staged. But what if it wasn't? Whatever the truth is, the footage speaks for itself. And whether you believe it or not, it is one strange encounter. A couple was weaving their way along a mountain road, completely absorbed in the beauty around them. A scenic stretch lined with trees, sharp curves, and a clear view of the valley below. Then, without any real reason, they slowed down. Just a brief hesitation. It only slowed them down by 2 or 3 seconds. But that small decision have saved their lives, because something happened up ahead they never could have predicted.
有在摇，对不对？地震，摇很大力耶。
对啊。喂，sakit。干了。
地震。
哎，糟糕。
靠北。赶快走，赶快走，不要停下来，赶快走。这我他妈这边就掉一颗，我就麻烦了我。
走。
走。
Rockfall，
哦，车被砸到了。
他车被砸到了。
我。
你？
对啊，我车被砸到了。
A massive rock broke free from the cliffside and slammed onto the road, landing exactly where their car would have been if they hadn't slowed down. The rock hit with brutal force, enough to completely destroy the driver's side. But they weren't there. That tiny pause, barely 2 seconds, had placed them just far enough behind to avoid it. It's the kind of brush with fate that leaves you shaken, not because something happened, but because it almost did. And sometimes, almost is all it takes to realize how thin the line between ordinary and tragic really is. Sean wasn't out there to push limits or beat a personal best. He was just jogging through the woods in eastern British Columbia, more focused on relaxing and enjoying the fresh air. The trail was mostly empty, with just a few hikers passing by. Suddenly, a large, fast-moving shape appeared, charging straight toward him. Without hesitation, Sean's instincts kicked in, and he quickly picked up his pace, putting as much distance as he could.
Holy shit!
Running into a wild animal like that is no joke. It's a terrifying situation to be in. Sean was lucky to get away without a scratch, but that kind of luck doesn't always hold up. This is exactly why anyone heading into forests or trails in places like eastern British Columbia needs to carry bear spray. Watching the footage and listening to Sean's voice, it really feels like the bear chased him for a while, even if the video doesn't show it clearly. The tension in his tone makes it clear this wasn't just a quick scare. The bear was actively pursuing him. Most people underestimate just how dangerous and quick these animals can be until they find themselves in the middle of an encounter. When you're out in bear country, always be alert, carry protection, and never take the risk lightly. That's all for today. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Don't forget to leave a comment with your favorite encounter. And as always, thanks for watching and stay safe out there.